Hey, toy fans! Welcome back to the Spector Creative channel. I'm your host, Toy Guru Neitlich, and we're doing a very special episode. Usually I upload videos every day in the morning, but I'm uploading this one later in the day as a spur of the moment because, well, it's another one of those empty peg questions, and I know I've been doing a lot of videos about why empty pegs exist and talking about specific buying habits of adult collectors, how they will buy an entire case pack to complete a team or a Build-A-Figure. And I've gotten a few comments on the same subject, one in particular here from John Gonzalez, asking me why stores can't just reorder. Great question. So let's address that. So a store is out of stock. Someone has come in and bought every figure, and they've already done 8 weeks worth of sales in one visit. Well, you might say, can I have some more, please? Unfortunately, it's not that black and white. And yeah, you can't just simply place an order as you would walk into Mordor. It's more complicated than that, and there's two big reasons. So let's look at them. The first is production order, or the timeline of production, and the way vendors work with both retailers and sales to produce product. The second one is MOQ, minimum quantity order, or minimum order quantity, excuse me. When you say one thing and mean your mother, Freudian slip. All right, so production lines, just like they were back when Ford created them at the turn of last century, everything has an order. And it's not just the order of the individual production line, but it's the order of multiple items. So when you finish one, all right, thank you, let's bring in the next one. So one toy finishes, the next one begins. It could be from the same company, it could be another. To use a sports metaphor, and bear with me, non-sports fans out there, it's kind of like a batting order. First goes Mattel, then Hasbro, then Jakks, then back to Mattel, then Mattel again, then Hasbro, then Spin Master, then MGA. Trying to interrupt this order is kind of like jamming something in where it doesn't belong, the proverbial square peg in the round hole, or not having a fire to explode on Arbor Day. So you can't just stop the presses and halt production. There's only about 3 or 4 factories that make all of the action figures for all toy companies. And they're all using them, and they're all lined up and in order. So, once something is set in motion, you can't just, grab it and throw it out of whack because you have an order for more, of toy A, B, or C, whatever it is. So you have to wait your turn, just like in, nature, and just like in the world. It's all done almost 2 years in advance when they work out production timelines to make sure everyone can get what they want. So the second reason is the minimum order quantity, the MOQ. So every toy has this, and let's just say for argument's sake it's 100,000 units. That's a bit on the high side, but it's a nice round number to work with. And this goes with any item in production, whether it's a toy or a bowl or a cheese grater. So that MOQ is shared by all the retailers. Everyone takes a little bit of it, but the number can be divided up. Some retailers might take more. You could call it the lion's share or the manticore's share, and some might take a little less, some of those mom and pop shops. But it all comes together, and rising tide lifts all boats, meaning it takes all of the retailers together in order to hit that MOQ. So let's think about it in terms of a toy metaphor. Forget the sports metaphors. All right, you've got Voltron, defender of the universe, right? It takes 5 pilots, 5 lions to make up the giant robot of Voltron and take down whatever evil threat is there threatening the universe. All right, so each of the pilots represents a major retailer. Maybe the blue one is Walmart, the red one is Target. Hey, why not? All right, so what if you have Pidge here, the green pilot, and he wants to place an order for more, let's just say Masters of the Universe Origins figures for sake. All right, well, if he goes out it alone, he's not strong enough to handle the MOQ, and he's going to wind up getting his head bitten off, metaphorically. He needs all of the lions. So one retailer, let's just say Target for argument's sake, wants to order more. Well, they would need to take the entire MOQ in a reorder, as opposed to splitting it with all of the retailers as the original order is done. That's why it's done so far in advance. So if your MOQ is 100,000 units and you need to hit that, the sales members will work with everyone to get that quota. If not, then a retailer winds up with something like this if they were going to take the entire MOQ. And this is one of the problems with exclusives when they don't work. And this is why they usually only order the MOQ, because ordering more than that results in overstock. And having too much of a product is absolutely the greater of two evils. So you have to choose the lesser of two, which is taking less product or having empty pegs. Because having a markdown product, yeah, you might be leaving money on the table, but especially when you're looking at something like the adult action figure market, which is not the biggest in the toy industry, having to mark down product is really bad. It's bad for the brand, it's bad for the license holder, the IP holder who owns it, because it makes the brand look bad. Nobody wants this. Everybody loses when something has to go on clearance. So it's much better to have empty pegs than too many. But let's look at an opposite example. When can you actually order more? Well, when Mattel put out product for the first Cars movie, it turned out to be a huge hit, way bigger than was expected. And because Mattel is the big company it is and is able to, if you will, has access to, so many resources, when demand for Cars product skyrocketed, and this was product going to kids, there were some collectors, but 90% kids, well, there was money to be had, and it was worth moving heaven and hell in order to make more product for Cars, and Mattel did that. And if it wasn't for Mattel's ability to step in, they would have lost out on a lot. So on the opposite side of the, toy spectrum is the adult collector. So you've got on one hand kids buying, toy cars, and on the other, the adult collector. We're very emotionally attached to our product, which makes us feel like the market is huge because it's one of the most important things in our life, getting these figures. I'm included in that. I'm also an adult collector. I get it. I've waited outside, for product. But meanwhile, in reality, there might be a group of us, but we're all together on one small boat, and the boat is not that big. The internet just has a way of making us louder than we are numerous. We're really this very small portion of the toy industry. The money's really in preschool toys if you really want to look at it. And yep, take a drink. Sometimes the juice is not worth the squeeze. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why toy stores can't just reorder product on a dime. It's done in advance, it's done in line with production order and with MOQ standards. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it clarified questions about reordering. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything. I always comment back. Give it a like and a subscription because that tells YouTube to share it with more people. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.